Broadcasting on Radio Star Worldwide. It's the Maverick Difference Radio Show with Paul Finck. When you want to step up and dare to be different. When you'll dare to be great and live to your fullest potential. When you are ready to dare to be a maverick and live the life of your dreams. Then it's time to listen to Paul Finck.
This is your host, Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. You are listening to the Maverick Difference Radio Show, and welcome. I am here accompanied by my great producer, Blade, and we're going to be talking about good work ethic. Do you have it? What does it mean? What does it take? Blade, how are you today, sir?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Got some sleep. It's a beautiful day, and I'm in 100% capacity. Isn't that it? You're always good early, and after that, you just go downhill.
No, you're good all the time.
Good all day.
Positive energy. We're going to be talking about that. Now, Blade, we were just talking. He's got a 4-month-old baby, and he is talking about, well, how do you get it all done and get some sleep and actually be able to participate at full potential 24/7, even when you're struggling with the time management of taking care of young ones and the job and everything else. So we're going to be talking about some of those components. It's what we do here. I am the Maverick Millionaire, and I'm called the Maverick Millionaire because I've been able to create a empire surrounding myself with great people and being a maverick every step of the way by doing things, well, slightly different than the majority do them. And I find when you analyze, when you look to study great people, they absolutely do things different than the masses. I talk about the 95-5, the difference between 95% of the people are struggling. 95% of the people out there are going day to day. They don't know how to get out of the rat race. They don't know how to really enjoy life fully and work at their fullest potential. And there's 5%. There's 5% of the population that are getting it, that are absolutely growing, developing, and creating abundance in their world. And how are they doing that? What's making the difference between the 95 and the 5? And oftentimes it comes down to their work ethic. I've talked about this before and what a work ethic looks like. You know someone has a really great work ethic when, well, you are in a restaurant and you notice the busboy. You notice the busboy, and you notice him because he is, man, going around with a smile, whistling while he works, saying hi to everyone, greeting everyone as he's going table by table, picking up their crap. And you're saying, how is he able to have that smile on his face and have such a joy and such a kick in his step while he is picking up everyone's dirty dishes, while he is doing the worst job there and getting paid the least, and he's the one out of the whole establishment that you go, wow, look at that guy. That's a great work ethic. And here's what I've learned is the people that have that work ethic, they're not in that place for very long. The people that have that work ethic, they get noticed and they get grabbed hold of for opportunities. They get grabbed hold of for great adventures, new things in their life because they just do things at such a high level that they get noticed no matter what job they're doing, no matter what position they're in. And when you get noticed, you're absolutely a maverick and you absolutely get brought in to new opportunities and achieve higher and higher levels of accomplishment and hang out with people that really appreciate that level of empowerment, that level of achievement, that level of living your best. When you're going around your day, would you rather have someone as your partner, whether it's in fun or whether it's in business? Would you rather have someone that's your partner who is, oh man, I don't know, I can barely get through this day, maybe tomorrow will be better? Or do you want the partner who is smiling all the time, laughing all the time, greeting everyone as if, man, he is having the best day ever, and you see him do this day in and day out every single day of your life? This is what really makes the difference in your life. And when you do that every day, watch what happens over the weeks, months, and years that follow that line in the sand when you say, enough's enough. I'm going to be this person forever. A lot of it starts off right here. It starts off really getting clear with how you want to participate in your world, how you want to participate in the life that you're living. You know, we go around and I have something you should write down. Absolutely write down. And it's all about what you put out there, you get back. And on this radio show, the Maverick Difference radio show, you are going to hear the components on what that looks like in your day-to-day life. What you put out there, you get back. So for instance, this is a great example. Now, some of this people call yah. And I'll warn you, you know, when I start talking about this stuff, people say, yeah, whatever. And they don't take it seriously. You know, we've heard the movie The Secret. Blade, have you ever heard the movie The Secret?
Nope.
It's thesecret.tv. You can go and Google it. It's a small little, started off as a small little video on the internet, and then they went and did a book about it, and they expanded it. And now people are talking about The Secret all over the universe, throughout the world. They talk about this movie, this book, and it's all about the whole concept is you put out there, you get back. Now, some people go, yeah, whatever. So you want to be, and I talked about last time, being a money magnet. And so you walk around, I'm a money magnet, and all of a sudden money shows up. Like, I travel a lot. I travel all across the nation, all across Canada. I travel on a regular basis. I started years ago talking about this concept of money magnet. And what you put out there saying, I am a money magnet, all of a sudden money attracts to you. And in my travels, I've been tracking it, and I know that ever since I started doing this about 10 years ago, every time I'm in an airport, I find money. Every time. Now, statistically, that should be impossible. Now, somebody, yeah, so what? So you find the penny, you find the coin, you find a quarter somewhere. Big deal. Wait. Last week, I found the $10 bill. The month before that, my wife found a $50 bill. Now, we're not talking about just, coins anymore. Now, is that because, we're just lucky? I don't believe so. Here's another statistic for you. My whole family has found money. All my children, I've got 6 kids, and now 6 children, my wife and I, we all find money regularly. So no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we're walking around, we're driving around, and money will show up. 8 people in one household, and we have all found not just coins. We have all found dollars, $5, $10, and in my wife's case, a $50 bill. We have all found these things. Is that unusual? Does that start ringing some truth into our world? And people go, yeah, circumstantial evidence. I've learned over the years that there's very little reality to circumstantial. I don't believe in it anymore. Everything is absolutely as it was meant to be. It was designed that way. Pay attention to these little pieces that make up so much in our life. I'm a money magnet. Money shows up. How is it showing up for you? So what does this have to do with a good work ethic? Where is the connection? When you begin to put it out there that you are a powerful worker, that you always play full out, that you are willing to do whatever it takes every single day to create a magnitude and a joyousness in your world, you will. When you wake up and you say, I've got full energy, I will be the best that I could possibly be, you will be. When you say, I am awake, I am powerful, I am responsive, I can think clearly, I am excited about this day, your day will be. It's an amazing thing. Now, that's not what most people do. I talk about being a maverick. That's not what it's all about for most. What do they do, Blade? Oh, I don't know. How's your day going? Ever ask people how their day's going and they actually tell you? There's that one guy. Oh, man. You're not going to believe this. Man, my kid's on drugs. My wife's fooling around on me, and my business is about to go bankrupt. How's yours? No. I was just being nice. Please keep it to yourself. It's funny. How's your day? Whenever people ask me how my day is, I always tell them, it is fantastic. It's awesome. It's perfect. How's yours? You know, it's amazing. And Blade, you laugh and you'd be amazed. Now, sometimes you're walking down the street and someone says, hey, how are you? And you go, I'm great. They may run. I warn you. However, you don't want to be around those people anyway. Most of them are complainers and it will stick to you. What you put out there, you get back. Several years ago, my wife and I were taking a trip. It was early morning. We were going to the airport, and we were driving to the airport, and my two daughters were coming with us. We had just left our house. Now, we're in a suburban area, and so we just left, and so we're not near a highway yet, and we pull out of our driveway, and I start kind of pressing it. We were going down a hill slight, and I pressed the gas a little more than maybe I should have on a suburban street. My wife quickly says, watch out, you're going to get a ticket. My two daughters instantly, because they've grown up with this philosophy, they instantly said, Mommy, what are you doing? Why do you put that out there? Why did you say we're going to get a ticket? Why would you say that? And they are actually like serious, berating my wife about saying such a horrible thing of putting out there a prediction of something bad rather than saying, why don't you slow down? Or could you please slow down? No. We are going to get a ticket. Not 30 seconds later, a cop pulls out of nowhere. Ever have those experiences where things just show up and you're like, they weren't there a minute ago? The cop car pulls up out of nowhere and pulls us over for speeding. Coincidence? I just know what happened. My wife said it. My kids responded knowing that was putting it out there and you're going to get what you put out there. And instantly within 30 seconds, we got my wife's prediction. Be careful how you put things out there into the universe. You want greatness. You want to really feel empowered. Tell yourself every day you are. Talk about how powerful you feel, how excited you feel, how awake you feel. And you will be. Now I'm going to ask, and for someone who's going through this right now, and Blade, you have a daughter now. She's just barely sleeping through the night, maybe. What do you think of all this? Real, imagined, a whole lot of hoopla?
First of all, not enough hoopla because no one told me about the first 2 months. No one sells it like that. They say, "Oh, it's tough." And
no, the human condition is such that we forget. We are trained to forget. We're actually programmed and wired to forget that early stages of taking care of our young ones. Yes.
I think that's exactly right. And I think you don't truly remember how it is. You remember it being tough, but you can't feel or remember how tough it was. But anyone says, "Well, it's a little tough." Well, it's tougher than that. When you get, hey, it is. You got 6 kids. And
be careful now. We had 2 at a time. You only had 1. It's really
I know, man. I had 1, and
not even close. You're in kindergarten still. I'm just telling you.
Oh,
right?
I know, but it's tough. I can imagine your wife like this. In both hands, 1 in each hand. 3 times.
Now wait a second.
Yeah.
The more you say, and I believe in what we call programming, and what you put out there, you get back, which is a part of that programming. And so the more that you convince yourself, and the more that you say, it is tough, it will be. So every time, and you've said it several times just here, it is tough. It is tough. It is tough. You go home, guess what you're going to think? Man, this is tough. Every little thing. The baby cries for 10 seconds. You're like, "Oh, this is tough." And it becomes this perpetual loop that feeds itself. Almost like, ever buy a new car?
Of course.
Ever buy a used car? And we buy a car. And as soon as we even begin to think about buying the car, we're looking around at different models out on the street. We decide on one model, one car. We see that car and that model everywhere. Why is that? What is it that, the car dealership all of a sudden had every car they own follow you wherever you go just so that you buy their car? How come we notice we want to buy a Honda, all of a sudden every car we see is a Honda, and we notice it everywhere? How come? We have filters in our brain that will it filters out. The reason why we're able to function every single day is that we have all this stuff coming at us, and we've got filters in our brain that filter out only the things that are important for us to pay attention to. Only the things that we've programmed it to notice. We don't notice everything in our universe, or we would go insane because it would all come at us at once. We have the capability to notice a lot more than we do. Our brain, though, filters it out so we can stay focused and on task. So when we program ourselves, "Oh man, I'm looking for a Honda," we find the Honda everywhere we go. Every place we look, we see more and more a Honda. When you're looking for it to be difficult, it shows up that way. Because as soon as you see a glimpse of it, you go, "Ah, there it is. I saw it. Difficult. There it is. I got it." And we see it in that way. How about we look for the ways it is amazing? We look for the moments that are just precious. We say, "Wow, how did I create this thing? How is this going to grow up to be a human? How is that possible?" And be amazed, be just engrossed in the power of what it is that's surrounding us. And in that way, we stay positive and energetic and just like a little kid in a candy store. Wow. Or ever experience a Walt Disney World in a child's eyes. The first time they're walking through the gates, it's like, wow, how awesome is this? They can barely sit still. Our life should be like that. Every single day that we walk through the door of our home, every day that we walk through the door at work, every day we drive down the street, we should be looking for what's amazing. So when we're home and even in our mundane, are there things that we could cherish, moments that we go, wow? And those moments, could they happen more often than we pay attention to? Possible? So even when we're sleeping or even when we're getting no sleep, can we get no sleep, Blade, and still be empowered? Can we get no sleep and still be excited?
Makes it difficult, but I suppose you could, Paul.
Makes it difficult or not. It's interesting when with 3 sets of twins, first set, I had to give up hobbies. Really, I don't have a lot of hobbies. I get excited about what I do every day with my family and with my work and with everything that I've accomplished. I get excited about that. Like hobbies that most people call hobbies, I really don't have. So first set, I eliminated that. Second set, I eliminated TV. Well, we got rid of that long time ago. Third set, I had to give up sleep. So I understand. So, and I say that almost tongue in cheek. However, the reality is that I do sleep a lot less than most people. And I just get excited about getting up and accomplishing more and doing more and getting excited about what's in store. Yesterday is a perfect example. Yesterday, I was flying back. I was in Orlando for the weekend. I was training a group of people of about 100 and we had 130 people there, and we were training them on real estate investing. One of the other components that is in my life is real estate. And so we were training them on real estate investing. And so that ended late Sunday night. Monday, got a flight out, and the flight was canceled. Delayed. And the flight was delayed until the point when we finally got home last night at 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning, I got home last night. Now, from what you've experienced so far right here, can you imagine that I got very little sleep last night? Do you feel it in my energy? Does it look different? Does it feel different to you than it usually does all the other times you've experienced me? Blade, what do you think?
Nope. Doesn't feel any different at all.
And yet, from the circumstance that I was in, I got very little sleep last night. I got up this morning, had a couple of appointments before now, and now it's my time, 11 a.m. And
look at you. You got no bags under your eyes. You got no wrinkles. Okay. A big smile on your face.
How?
How is right. You tell us.
How is right.
By the way, Paul.
Yes.
You, has anyone ever said this? It just finally hit me.
Oh, no.
You look like Andrew Dice Clay, a young Andrew Dice Clay. It's a spitting image.
No way.
Oh,
really?
It's incredible. That's what it is. Okay.
That's a first. That's a first.
It is?
That's a first. Bada bing, bada boom.
His new trailer for his new show. You don't agree.
Haven't even heard that name in a decade. Holy cow. You're showing your age, Blade. Now I know.
But please notice, I did show my age, but please notice that I said you look like a young Andrew Dice Clay.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I do believe he's about my age. You believe I am 51 right now.
Okay, he's probably a little older than that, but yeah.
So maybe 55 in his mid 50s. I don't think he's much older than that.
And that's me, but back to the no sleep thing. So your head's swimming because you have a lot going on and you love what you do. And so it's fun getting up, no matter how much sleep you get.
Yes. And can you be excited no matter what you do? You know, this is the thing. I remember years ago, I was in the medical field. I was in the dental field. That's how I got started. I was straight commission sales or an entrepreneur for about 20 years between those two fields, 18 years. And we used to have conventions, and we'd have these huge conventions. I'm in the Northeast. We'd have huge conventions at the Javits Center. If you know it, it's in New York City. It is the big convention center in New York City. Like tens of thousands of people can fit in this building. And during the dental conventions, we have like 30, 40,000 people come through the building within a 3-4 day period. There would be about 1,000 booths set up throughout, 1,000 different companies represented at the Javits Center. And I was representing one of the companies. I was straight commissioned for one of the Fortune 500 companies that were setting up a booth there. Now, I believed in a work ethic, and I've had this work ethic for a long time. You show up. You simply show up. It's half the battle. And you don't just show up. You show up full boat. You show up all primed, all proper. You show up ready to go to battle, so to speak. You would never see a warrior go in the battle up. Man, I forgot my sword at home. Dang. They want to go in the battle going up. I forgot to put on my armor. I forgot to put on my chest plate. No, they would die instantly. And yet you see people going to work or going into any, whatever their career is, going in for an appointment, and they're not prepared. They don't have their stuff. They don't even have a pen and a piece of paper, like basics. I run events all around the country, and I teach and train throughout the United States, Canada, Europe. And you'd be amazed how many people show up for a seminar. So here you are, you're going there to learn something, and they don't bring a pen or a piece of paper. You scratch your head. Oh, well, you just have an instant memory. You were going to remember all this off the top of your head and go home and replay it in your brain whenever you want it. But this is how people go and they experience their whole world. They just show up without any preparation. So I'm at the Javits Center, and I know I had this work ethic. You show up, and you show up to play full out. You show up with everything ready. So here I am, dressed in my suit, my shoes polished. I'm ready to go. When do I show up? I show up early. I show up, here we are at the Javits Center, and I show up just as they're popping the lights on. Just as they're popping the lights on in the morning. When do I leave? When they're shutting the lights off. And I'm there playing full out the whole day. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about exactly why I do that and the benefits that happens because I have, and what's happened with the rest of my life because I've played full out and played with a positive work ethic every single day for the last 30 years. We're going to talk about what all that looks like for you. Stay tuned. This is Paul Finck, your host on the Maverick Difference Radio Show. See you just in a moment.
This is the Maverick Difference Radio Show with Paul Finck. We'll be back right after this. How many times have you heard this?
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Hey, you are what you eat.
I've tried every diet.
Diets don't work.
It's time to stop this kind of madness and start thinking and feeling empowered to change your health. Tune into The Raw Truth with Chef Sharon Fraser. Join us weekly for thought-provoking conversation. World-renowned experts in the food, medical, holistic, sports medicine, chiropractic, and naturopathic health sciences. The Raw Truth airs every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on RadiostarWorldwide.com. Seize the Day with Susan F. Moody is heard every Saturday at 10 a.m. on StarWorldWideNetworks.com. Susan is a certified success coach, author, speaker, and radio host who for over 20 years has been working with aspiring entrepreneurs just like you. It's time to define your goals, build your dreams, accelerate your results, and create a richer, more fulfilling life. It's time to seize the day. Be inspired and empowered to live your life your way with your success coach, Susan F. Moody. Yes, you can. Seize the day. Saturday mornings at 10 on StarWorldWideNetworks.com. You're listening to Paul Finck and the Maverick Difference Radio Show. Now, here's Paul.
All right. Welcome back. Paul Finck here with the Maverick Difference Radio Show. And I've got Sinead. Thank you so much for the text. I've got people commenting about this Andrew Dice Clay reference all over the place. I actually got and some great pictures. I don't know whether you can see it, but yeah, Andrew Dice Clay there. They want to know if this is my new dress code. Yes. That's absolutely right. The leathers and
get a pair of shades and look and see. Get a pair of shades and look and see.
Maybe next time. Yeah. and he had some reference to sex. The more you put in, the more you get out. I don't know. This is just we'll leave that there. Anyway, thanks, Sinead. Come join us on Blab here. We're hanging out on Blab, and you can come join us here live and ask questions live right here on the Maverick Difference Radio Show. And you know, it's amazing. We're talking about the work ethic, and we've been talking about what you put out there, you get back, and how it shows up, and how the universe will deliver to you when you just do it right by showing up and playing full out every day. And what I've experienced is it does not take more effort to put a smile on your face and to play full out than it does to be grumpy and grouchy every day. So when you're going through your day and you're like, oh man, I can't believe this, and the hell with that, and what the hell am I doing here? And you get that attitude, man, you realize that wears you down. That alone, that conversation, that chit chat in your head just makes you just more tired. Or you could decide to have a different dialogue with yourself. And so you have a different dialogue. It's interesting. I got to pause with my story about the Javits Center for a moment to tell you a couple other things. This whole idea of what you put out there, you get back. And the concepts of just love what you do. Love where you're at, no matter what it is, no matter what you're doing. Just simply decide to love it fully. My kids have a teacher, and I'm not going to say any names, only they have this teacher currently. And almost every day, if not every week, the teacher, now I've got several of children in the school, in the same high school, and they all report back the same thing. This one teacher says regularly, I hate kids. This is a teacher. So now you have a teacher saying every day to her students, I hate kids. That's why I didn't have any children of my own. I hate kids. That's why I don't have any children of my own. You're not going to get any grace from me. I hate kids. How do you think the kids respond to that? Are they like, yay, baby, I can't wait to go to this teacher's class. I can't wait to listen to them. Does it build up respect for the teacher? Do you think the teacher is going to propel himself to a higher level in the teaching community? Do you think they're spiraling upwards to greatness? Or do you believe just from that comment alone, they're destined to spiral downward to get worse and worse over the years? For me, it seems pretty obvious, right, Blade? Seems pretty obvious. They're going down. They are absolutely going to end up in an environment of more and more challenges in their career, more and more challenges in their workplace. The children are going to get more and more attuned to the fact that this person doesn't want to be here, and we don't want them here either. It's a pretty simple equation. Intuitively, we all know this to be true. And yet we'll go through our day complaining about our boss. We'll go through our day complaining about our work and then wonder why, well, when the layoffs came, we were the first ones to get hit. No kidding. Pay attention to these little pieces. Yesterday, when we were in the airport, there was a gentleman that was helping us out, and he was helping us out, and he was a young kid, and this young kid, now he has several jobs, one of which was working in the airport, and in talking to him, I found out that, well, in his other job, he was late. It was that morning, and he woke up late for his other job. Now, he's expressing this to me. I don't know why. So he's telling me he woke up late. Not only did he wake up late, he woke up like he's supposed to be at work at 8. He woke up at 8 or 8:03. So now he's way late, not just a little bit late. And he's telling me this, and not only did he tell me that he woke up late, his alarm was his cell phone. And his cell phone was his alarm that he got so upset with himself that he took his phone and threw it across the room and broke it. So he's telling me this. He's telling me that he's violent, that he cannot control his emotions. And he tells me, oh, and by the way, I may have lost the job that I had because that wasn't the first time I was late. I've been late regularly.
There's a winner, Paul.
What? Now, here's the funny thing. Up until that point, he had been professing himself to be exactly that, a winner. He was quoting motivational books. He was talking about the latest book he was reading that was empowering him. He was talking about this $1 million idea he had that he was talking to his friend about launching. He was talking about wanting to be an entrepreneur. He was talking about getting into real estate. And so his mindset was, yes, I'm going to do all these great things. His work ethic and his control of himself was such that there's no way he's going to create all those things. Again, intuitively, we know that. Oh, yeah, that's obvious. However, within ourselves, we never realize what we're doing to sabotage ourselves every day. See, I was even looking at him within the first few minutes that I was talking to him about maybe there's some positions I have. Maybe there's some opportunity I have for him, because he was a young, energetic kid that really seemed to know where he wanted to go and what he wanted to accomplish. However, I got to tell you, I run several different opportunities. I have multiple different businesses. And within all those adventures, someone comes late. They're done. The conversation's over. We have no room for that. Nor do we have room for excuses why they're late. I was working with a group of people just recently, and we had a meeting at 6:30 in the morning. We had a lot going on that day, and we were all part of taking care of it. It was actually an event, and we're all part of taking care of this event. And so we have to get there early, plan everything out, make sure everything's going right. And so we meet at 6:30 in the morning. So be there at 6:30. Oh, but by the way, so-and-so is not going to be there that early. They'll show up a little bit later. They'll show up like 9. Why? They got in at 2:30 last night. Sound familiar? kind of like what happened to me last night. And they couldn't possibly, like I did this morning, wake up early enough to make a 6:30 meeting because, well, they got in late. I wasn't the team lead. It wasn't my place to correct the person in charge. However, all I thought to myself was, I wouldn't allow that on my team because I know I wouldn't show up that way. I wouldn't make excuses. Years ago, what was that?
You probably wouldn't allow people on your team too to get mad at their cell phone and throw it against the wall and break it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that guy's out.
Why would-
Guy's out. Unless he changes. Now, I do give grace. Things happen and people do change. I know I did. I wasn't always like this in all my capacity. Over the last 10 years, I've really stepped up my game and created so much more of my life. However, there's certain components, there's certain skill sets that you'll notice from afar. Years ago, I was airport stories. Because of what I do in my travel, airport stories are key. I was in another airport and I had a layover in Houston. So I arrived in Houston. It was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I arrived in Houston and I had a connector at 5:30 to go to Dallas, just a hopper to go to Dallas. It's like an hour flight from Houston to Dallas. Simple. So I arrive at like 3:30. The next flight's at 5:30. Great. 5:30 flight gets postponed. All right. But they have multiple flights, so it postpones till 6:30. No big deal. That one gets postponed till 7:30. We're still good. 7:30 now. I'm still making it in. Now, mind you, I was on stage 8 a.m. the next morning. I had to be in a meeting at 7 a.m. the next morning. So now, plenty of time. We're all good. There was apparently in Houston, they said it was a snowstorm. Now, I'm from the Northeast. I looked outside. I saw no snow. However, they said it was a snowstorm. I'm looking, all right, so it looked like maybe there was some rain. Well, apparently it was some freezing rain, just cold enough that it was sticking to the planes. So they had to de-ice the planes. Only in Houston, they really hadn't done this before. So they had one de-icing group that was going to take care of this. There was a de-icing team. There was one of them. They delayed. 7:30 went to 8:30. 8:30 went to 9:30. Finally, around 9:30, I was getting a little concerned that we were getting out. And I kept asking the people in charge there, and they were really quick to put me off. However, at 9:30, I was not going to be put off any longer. I pulled one of them aside and I said, all right, give me the skinny. I really want to know what is going on. Well, we've got these planes that need to be de-iced and we have only one team. I was like, all right. So how long does it usually take you to de-ice a plane? They said, well, about 45 minutes. I said, all right. So how many planes do you have to de-ice? By that point, they had been delaying flights all day. They had 60 planes to de-ice. Do the math. I begin to realize rather quickly that I was not getting out on a plane that night. At which point, by now it's around 10:30 at night, and I ended up sitting down and opening up my computer and looking for a rent-a-car. They had already made the announcements that there were no hotels available in the area, so you must drive anyway outside of the area to even get anything outside of the airport to sleep other than the airport floor. Again, I had to be in a meeting at 7, on stage at 8 the next day. I'm sitting there opening my laptop, and coincidentally, remember, I don't believe in coincidence, coincidentally, right next to me is a female, and she's doing the same thing, looking for a rent-a-car. We start talking. Within minutes, we commit to one another that we're going to go together. God bless this woman, because I don't know what possessed her to go in with a strange man into a car in the middle of the night for a 4 or 5 hour drive. However, she accepted. There was something that Fortunately, I looked harmless. I'm not sure whether that's a compliment to me. Only I looked harmless. So we ended up getting a rental car and driving the 4 or 5 hours from Houston to Dallas, which got me in to Dallas at about, after getting the rental car, getting everything worked out, and getting on the road. It ended up that I was in Dallas around 4:30 in the morning. Did I call in late? Did I say, you know what? Even though I'm supposed to be on stage at 8, you guys just hang out. I'll be there at noon. What do you think? Now, oh, and by the way, I didn't have my luggage because the luggage was on the plane with my connector. Same clothes. I borrowed a jacket to put over my T-shirt from a buddy of mine, and jeans, T-shirt, and a sports jacket. Went up on stage at 8 o'clock with less than 2 hours sleep by the time I checked into the hotel, less than 2 hours sleep, and trained and coached the whole day, which was the first day of 3 days of doing the same thing. You want to succeed. You want to create something great. You want to have a glorious life. Pay attention to living full out. Pay attention to doing whatever it takes to get the job done with a smile on your face. Because you do anything less. What if I had shown up and complained? Shown up and just dismissed everyone because I was too tired. Because I got up with very little sleep. And so all of them that had been there had planned on a full day and a full weekend and planned to get the most out of it. Well, just the heck with them. They don't matter anymore. Only the fact that I only got 2 hours sleep. That's the only thing that matters in the world.
Was that a pretty cool chick you got to ride with?
She was pretty cool. We had a good time. We chit-chatted the whole time there. I felt guilty about sleeping on her because we were driving in the middle of the night. So I did not. So literally 2 hours sleep, and only when we got to the hotel, and it was great. It was great. And you know, those things happen. Oh, and coincidentally, she was from Dallas, knew exactly where my airport was. It was from that area. She was driving home, and so knew the roads. There was no problem getting there, and she dropped me off right at my hotel. How cool is
she
that?
was an Andrew Dice Clay fan.
Apparently an Andrew Dice Clay fan, because that's why she trusted me. Yes. I think we're going to move on from that reference for now on.
Let's do.
Or we're just going to change the whole mantra of this whole radio show.
No.
So absolutely. I will say Andrew does do it different. So that's a good thing. He absolutely is a Maverick to model as well. He absolutely created amazing results with just an a questionable talent, and just did amazing results. Show up, just do things different by being different. When I went to the Javits Center, I showed up early, showed up and made sure that I was the first ones there. You know why, or what happened when I showed up early? Who are the first people to show up at like conventions and conferences like that? The people that before the attendees are allowed in, who are the first people to show up?
Set up.
The people who set up, and once the setup is done, so now that all the setup was done the night before, who are the first people that show up in the morning? Usually it's the managers, the bosses, the upper level people. They usually will have early morning meetings. They'll get their team prepped, ready. They're the ones checking, and they're also the ones with the keys to the most expensive equipment. So all this is happening. The best people are the ones that are there those first 15 minutes before anyone else. And me. Do you think when you're looking to make an impression and you're the only one of your group of, there were about 50 other people that had my position with that company at that meeting, and I'm the only one standing there with the big bosses. Do you think I was noticed? Do you think they paid attention? realize that it's these nuances, it's these small pieces that when you multiply them over time, they create a magnitude of a life that you could only dream about. That's what's happened to me over the decades, is that I showed up. I made sure that I had a work ethic to show up early, stay late, that I enjoyed every moment, that I shared with people how much I was excited about the day, how much I was excited about what I was doing, and made it happen on a daily basis so that everyone around me, what they talk about when they see me out on the streets, when they see me in work, when they see me in opportunities and different environments in which I do business, they say, "You're always smiling. You're always happy. How do you do that?" Now, isn't that the best way to be remembered, rather than you're always grumpy, you're always complaining? How do you do that? Absolutely. Come hang out with me. Come join me. I have the Maverick Selling Business Builder Bootcamp. You can go there to MaverickSellingToday.com. Come hang out with me. I've got another event coming up in April, the end of April in Orlando in just a couple weeks, as well as in July in Las Vegas. Come hang out with me for that. Blade put the link right there in our blab so that people can do that, MaverickSellingToday.com. Other than that, guys, this is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. I want you to dare to be different, dare to be great, dare to be a Maverick, the Maverick Difference Radio Show. Till next time, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Paul Finck and the Maverick Difference Radio Show. You can listen to Paul